So I see we got 2 people here already. Just waiting. I'm gonna post on my other Patreon as well. So hold tight. We're gonna start at like 11:10. 2 people here already. Just waiting. I'm gonna. Whoops! I just forgot I had my live streaming. It's like liveception. So there I am, but I'm muted now, so I could see y'all comments more easily. But it's probably gonna be lag, so I'm probably not even gonna stream it on my laptop. Good morning. What's up, Instagram? Shout outs to Chicago. Let me post this in my other Patreon. Oh, does this thing get rid of so fast? What's up? I see we got one more person in here. We're just waiting for a bit so everybody gets here. Live stream. I'm posting in the other Patreon, so those patrons to see as well. What else? I'm missing a hashtag. Patrons only. So while we wait, I'm gonna play y'all some exclusive shit. I'm gonna play y'all a quick instrumental that I've been working on, and it's probably gonna be used for a film later on. So I'm gonna just have it on a loop. And make sure, yeah, it's on. So we'll wait for the next minute. Put this shit on. In the meantime, ask me some questions. And if we don't have any questions by like 11:10 or the next 2 minutes, I'll just tell y'all about some things that I have planned for the Patreon. By the way, when y'all ask questions, y'all gotta come to the YouTube chat. Because last time, my homegirl was asking mad questions in the Patreon instead of the YouTube live stream, and I can't really see it. What's good, Manny Fresh? Alright, I'm about to get to your question in a second. I don't know why my phone gets rid of the questions so fast, but I got it right here pulled up on YouTube on my laptop. So let me just pause this. Okay, so first question: how many different art mediums do you practice, and how do you balance them all? That's so funny because I just had this conversation with somebody yesterday about how stressful it is to balance everything that I do. So I'm gonna start from when I was youngest until now. My first art form was music. I used to play the pots and pans in my grandmother's kitchen, and she got tired of me pulling out all the pots and pans, so she basically bought me a drum set. And our drums wound up breaking. I was around like 3 years old, so I guess yeah, the drums. I've always had a very percussive mind and a percussive style musically. Like everything to me is about the groove, which is funny because um, when I turned about 9 years old was when they had a music program in my school, in elementary school, um, and we could choose from a bunch of wind instruments. They didn't have any percussion instrument like programs. I think they only had like marimba or some shit like that, or the xylophone. That's what they had, the xylophone. And I didn't really like the xylophone. Um, I remember I was gonna play the trumpet, and my boy was like, "Nah, bro, play the saxophone. That's wavy." I'm like, "What's a saxophone?" Like people don't really, when you say the saxophone, a lot of people don't know what that looks like right away unless you say sax. I feel like it's more popular now because back then people wasn't really using it in like hip hop and pop music at all. Like it was a very jazzy, like old school thing to use. And when I saw it, I was like, "Oh yeah, I love that instrument." Like I actually thought that the trumpet was that, which a lot of people think that my saxophone is a trumpet. And I'm like, "Oh, that's the instrument I wanted to play. It wasn't even the trumpet at all." So I wound up playing the alto saxophone at first. Um, I don't know why I chose alto instead of tenor. Um, I know that it was higher. Is we A lot of people don't like the alto sax. Like a lot of people like the tone of the tenor more because it's warmer. But I feel like on the alto, I feel like that changed a lot for me. Like doing alto sax instead of tenor because alto saxes usually have the lead line in jazz music, which later on I moved on to like being in a jazz band and being in a Christian salsa band. I know that's kind of weird combination. And then I was in after that. Oh, I completely skipped over the fact that when I was 8, I was also drawing a lot. So I used to want to be a manga artist and a cartoonist. I don't really draw anymore like that at all. And I feel like that need to want to draw and like paint a picture and whatnot, I guess it evolved into film and cinematography because I really like lighting and framing and setting up shots and whatnot. Like that's always been my thing. Um, I'm skipping timelines because a lot of this happened at the same time. So I remember I was drumming when I was 3. 5 years old was when I first started karate class, and that was Ishin Ryu Karate, which is a branch off of karate that uses it's a hybrid art of kung fu and it's yeah, it's a hybrid of southern style kung fu, like think Wing Chun and like soft and also like southern styles like short forms, um, short range martial arts of kung fu, and then that was mixed with what kind of karate is it? Shotokan karate? Yeah, I think it's mixed with Shotokan karate or Kyokushin. It looks more similar to Kyokushin. It's very short, close range, and Shotokan is very like long distance. And yeah, I was doing that for a while. Then I did Goju Ryu when I was 12. Goju Ryu was similar to Ishin Ryu. Goju means hard and soft styles, but just it's like mixed with White Crane Kung Fu, which is interesting because Wing Chun also has inspiration from White Crane Kung Fu. And it's like this whole philosophy of block soft, hit hard. And so yeah, so far what I've described to you was music, like playing the saxophone. So I was at this point I was a musician. I was also always a writer because I used to write short stories when I was younger. So I was already by the time I was about like 12, I was already a martial artist, a musician, a writer, and a cartoonist. When I was around 13, I kind of dropped cartooning. Like I guess I just got tired of it. I kind of outgrew drawing because I had so much stuff on my plate too. Then when I turned 15, mind you, I was doing YouTube videos since I was 10. So I turned 15. I used to do comedy skits, and people have said I'm a comedian, but I don't consider myself a comedian. I consider myself a comedy writer. Like I write skits, I write jokes, um, and I started acting in my shit. So I guess I was an actor the whole time without realizing it. Neither. When people ask me, I'm like, I'm not an actor. I'm just good at acting. Kind of like the difference between being a bass player and being a bassist. A bass player is somebody that can play the bass, and bassist is somebody that primarily plays the bass. Like that's their instrument. Um, so yeah, then I was an actor and doing comedy skits and YouTube, and basically started creating content. Like that's what people call it now, like content creation. The fact that content creators could do so many different things instead of me sitting here listing everything that I could do like I am right now, you basically just call yourself a content creator. And on YouTube, like I guess people like me make sense to exist because we essentially do a little bit of everything, and we specialize in a few things. Like when I make my videos, I have to become an audio engineer, become a recording. I gotta become a recording engineer. I gotta become a director. I gotta become uh, an actor when it's a skit and an editor. Like you got to become so many things in order to create content for yourself, like independently, that you kind of have to be multifaceted. So I guess my childhood kind of just set that whole precedent up for me to be a content creator on YouTube. And 15 was when I got really serious about film and you made it kind of like my primary career, I guess you could say. And now even that sort of shifting because I constantly find myself gravitating more toward like music and writing and I think I've started to like more so teaching like education. Like I really like education, but I hate school. which is why I've kind of used my platform and kind of trying to rebrand my TheAlmonteFilms channel into something educational. Y'all saw my last video about how to make videos. It was kind of like a motivational tutorial on how to get started and how to get your mind right, because that's the first thing you need in order to start making videos. And I was already making educational content because I just used to say my opinions, and then once people started telling me like how much I've hey, that's when I step it up and be more factual and do more research and really like start getting into these political videos on a factual basis so that people don't walk away with the wrong idea, because regardless if it's just my opinion, it's not just my opinion. You know, I'm saying it publicly and people look up to me, and I have like hundreds of thousands of people that watch my content every day. And you know, I'm an influence, but like despite what I want to believe, despite the fact that a lot of people just want to create and do their own thing, and they don't really want fame, or they don't really want to be responsible for what they say, we are still responsible for what we say regardless. And in this day and age, social media, selfie culture, like everybody's an influencer. Everybody, like you putting something out there publicly and it's recorded. It's different than back in the day where you could just say your opinion outside and the only people that really heard it is you and your friends. And now you put something online, you can have 10 followers and your shit go viral. You know, like, so everybody's super responsible for every little thing they say. You never know if you're gonna be famous in 10 years and somebody pull up an old problematic tweet of yours from 2009. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know if Twitter was out. Yeah, Twitter was definitely out back then. Um, but yeah, like, how do I balance them all? I don't even know. I'll be trying to figure that out today. Like, I feel like a lot of times I'm very dissatisfied. Like yesterday, I was working all day on music because that's what I wanted to do. I was on vacation for like 3 weeks. I finally got home and was able to put my ideas into fruition. And I got a lot done, but then I was like, I gotta do these videos too. I gotta do a video for Patreon. I got like 3 tutorials I want to do on YouTube. And then it's like, oh, but I haven't practiced my saxophone. And then it's like, oh, but I haven't trained. I have to go get my boxing glove from back in my mom's house. It was so many things rushing in my mind. And it's really like all of these different desires that you have to create certain things when you're multifaceted. Sorry, that's a motorcycle outside. I'm in the hood. But yeah, you just have all these desires to get all of this stuff done. And in New York City, time passes so fast. So it's like you finish one project and you look and a whole week has gone by and then it's like just aching to create more and more and more. So it's really hard to balance all of them. The way I've tried to do it so far is like 1 week I'll focus on music, 1 week I'll get my video, I'll record my videos and edit them like for YouTube. So then the last 2 weeks of the month I can focus on whatever I feel like doing, like training or writing for film, work on more music, or just chill and go on vacation like I did last month for the holidays. So yeah, that's how I balance them all. That was question one, and we already we already got super deep into it. So I'm glad y'all have so many questions. Keep asking me questions because I'm gonna see them regardless. Like, don't worry, I'm not leaving until I finish these questions. I see we got 4 people in here. What's good? So Manny Fresh asked me, "What's up, man? Have you heard about the Chinese social credit system that they are going to be implementing in the next 2 years? People will be rated as honest or dishonest, and punished and rewarded. I heard of this on Facebook. I seen like a link. Um, you know what? Let's get into this because I've heard somewhat about it, and when I first heard about it, I was like, yo, this is like some Black Mirror shit. Because y'all know how let me see what's the name of the episode. Black Mirror credit system episode. That was Nosedive. So if y'all got Netflix, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now so y'all could go see that episode. Black Mirror Nosedive on Netflix. Y'all could go watch this. Don't. All right, people saying that streaming is tweaking. So I'm probably gonna start this up all over again.